So there's a lot of talk in the manosphere space or the red pill space, whatever you want to call it, whatever label you want to give it, about when you get with a woman and it doesn't work, that you never take her back. And, to a certain degree, I do agree. Um, but there are a couple of things that a lot of YouTubers or a lot of men just in general don't really tend to think about when it comes to, this topic. But uh, when talking about this, I kind of want to start here because I think it's really important to. So let me leave you with some advice that my grandfather left for me, um, and some number of years ago. And what he said to me was that the biggest decisions that you'll ever have to make in life will be revolving around a religion, a woman, and kids. And being a young dumb kid, I didn't take his advice seriously. And holy fuck, did I reap the consequences of that. Um, as a young dumb kid, I don't you don't really take a whole lot seriously. Uh, and then as you get older, you realize just how stupid you were. And looking back on it now, yeah, it was pretty dumb. But another thing too is that I didn't really know, any better when it came to specific things like how to choose women, how to vet properly, right? How to behave as a man. Um, and but then again, I didn't really take that seriously either. So um, I probably would have made the same mistakes even if I had, the information. Um, I just think it would have taken me a little bit more to mature. But regardless, because of you know not having so much of a father figure other than my grandfather around, because I could only see him, every summer or every other summer. Um, and so with that lack of father figure, uh, yeah, I was never really taught the things that I know now. Um, that has really helped me to become the man that I am now. And instead, I believed in this Disney mentality, this blue pill mindset, um, and I let my emotions control me, and that really led to my marriage blowing up, and you know, so I didn't take women seriously. It was only when I got married that I took women a little bit more seriously. Um, Maybe too seriously, because again, the blue pill mindset. But religion, I didn't take seriously because I was religious, but I wasn't religious, right? I was Christian, but I wasn't Christian. If that makes sense. Um, a lot of Christians would know it as lukewarm. Um, but I didn't really take kids seriously either, and I say that because I didn't know what I wanted to instill in them. I didn't know how I would go about discipline. I didn't know how I'd go about setting up, a lifestyle for them. Um, all I really wanted to do was find a good woman and have kids because I wanted to give a child of mine something that I never had, and that was that father figure. But how can you do that if one, you don't know what a man is and how he should act, and then two, you know, you never really had a father figure around to show you how a good father is supposed to behave. Now, the father figure that I did have around was a complete ass. Um, he was a drunk. Um, wasn't always that way, but he did. He did drink a lot and got into a lot of fights. And so, that was that. and that's all I had known. But I never really knew what it was like to be a good man, um, let alone a good father. So that's besides the point. Um, with this lack of information, I chose the wrong woman, and now we're kind of getting back into what a lot of other factors that we're talking about here. You know, we're not just talking about the cheating and stuff like that. And absolutely, if she cheats or she leaves, right, you got to let that go. So let me get into this real quick. For relationships with or for women in relationships, it's all mindset. It's all mindset. Listen, boys, you got to understand that women are women's behaviors, women's decisions are dictated by their emotions, right? So if they feel as though they can trust your leadership, they can trust you, then it's going to be it's not going to be hard for you. But if you're living in this blue pill mindset, it's going to be really hard for you because she's not going to be able to trust you. And you will be able to see that maybe suddenly at first, but or maybe suddenly at all. Maybe she's just really good at hiding it. But you will be able to tell. And there's a lot of guys these days. It's a lot of guys these days. And if she cheats or if she falls out of this mindset with you, it's all mental first and then it's physical. Um, the reason women ever really physically leave is because they see it beneficial for them to leave. Right. And I don't care what women say, they will always be dependent on men. Always. Always. That won't change. It won't change at all. That's why Munchie. That's what Munchie. Got the munchies. Um, that's why monkey branching is a thing, right? And that's why women almost never work the most physically demanding jobs. I.e., construction, lumberjacks, or excuse me, lumber, law enforcement, you know, firefighting. But I'm ranting. um, it's all mental, and if she leaves the relationship, if she's checked out, then it's only a matter of time before she physically leaves. Uh, whether she has an affair or she just outright leaves. So um, that's that's when you should absolutely walk away. When your gut is telling you now is the time to walk away, you walk away, man. You walk away and you don't look back. You don't look back at all because it's only a headache if you stick around. And you're only going to make yourself more pathetic the longer you stick around. You know, uh, I stuck around for a while after, well, I mean, I was pretty much done a little bit before the divorce was finalized, but I believe for a few weeks, um, I was pleading, I was begging, all this, that, and the third. Man, it was bad. um, I looked pathetic, dude. I really did. But you know, I'm no longer that guy anymore. So yeah, I don't even recognize that guy anymore. Looking back. Anyways, we all know that when it's time to go, it's time to go. And You have to find that courage to get up and go. Sometimes if you don't, you gotta call the boys. You know, um, but you gotta listen to the boys too. You know, had a former friend of mine who I told him, "Look, man, this chick cheated on you. Don't take her back, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it." And he did, and it ended up even worse for him the first time. Or excuse me, it ended up even worse after he took her back than it did the first time because she took everything from him, everything, and left. So that's why you don't do that. But what a lot of YouTubers and a lot of men in general don't really talk about are the other situations, right? The mutual split ups. And this is where it can kind of go into some gray area. And I say that because sometimes it's just not the right time, right? You get into a relationship with a woman and something happens. It's just, it just proves to be the wrong time. And that's understandable. Um, One thing I think about is when I was in college, I dated a girl, um, pretty girl. I thought she was all right. And I was leaving for the Air Force. Um, and both of us didn't really know what our futures were going to look like. And so, she came to me and we sat down, we had a conversation, and both of us thought that it was best for, us to split up. And so, and so we both agreed to it, and, we stayed friends. She eventually moved on to get married and have her own kids, while I was in the Air Force. Um, and, I mean, there's also that to think about too, is that, if you guys go your separate ways, right, and, one happens to have, some kids, they get married, maybe the marriage doesn't work out, that is over. That is over, right? Because you don't want to get with a single a single mom. It's biological. Men do not want to take care of someone else's kid. We want our own kids to take care of. And the reason for that is because if we're taking care of our own kids, that is our own bloodline that we are taking care of. And so when we're not doing that, we have an increased anxiety of, okay, well, when am I going to have my own kid? That's why a lot of men who get with single mothers ultimately ends badly because of this very same fact. Um, so there's that to think about. But if both are focused on themselves and eventually they reconvene, I don't see that as an issue. As long as there's a lot of talk around it, there's a lot of conversing, there's a lot of understanding that's being right met, boundaries, rules, all that stuff. Um, I don't see anything wrong with that. Another thing to think about too is mental health, right? If one or the other isn't doing good mentally and they're not suitable for a relationship to prosper, right? Then they need to take some time away to work on themselves, right? To eventually come back and reconvene. That also makes sense to me. Um, people go through problems, man. It's reality, it's life. There are points in our time where there are points in our life where times get hard, you know. And we all go through troubles and we all have to work through those troubles. Sometimes being with someone is more of a detriment to them because of how we react to things. A lot of times when people react to trauma a specific way, we don't intentionally mean to hurt somebody, but that's what we do because it's just a reaction, right? And so, absolutely, take that time away, right? Sit down, have a conversation, call things off mutually, right? And then if it happens to come back together, then I see that as being fine. So there's there's that. There's that. And I may be forgetting something else, or maybe you guys might see something else. But as far as that goes, I think that's the only. I think those are the only scenarios that can really be considered okay to really take her back, right? Um, and so let me know what you guys think. That'd be I'm very interested to know what you guys think. Um, I think this is a very interesting topic. I think this is very um, interesting to talk about. And so, what are your guys' experiences? What would you say? What advice can you give us? Right. So, um, you know, leave your thoughts in the comment section. If this video helped you guys out, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all of the hard work that you guys are putting in because look, only thing I'm doing is sitting here trying to figure out how to help you guys out, right? And so, I'm not doing anything astronomically huge. It's you guys that's doing all the work, and just how engaged you guys are with the channel is incredibly just inspiring and motivating. And I really appreciate all the hard work you guys put into it. So let's keep it up, guys. Let's keep it up. Let's keep growing this thing, and let's keep um, spreading the message, man. I want to reach out to as many people as possible because women can use this information as well. But especially men. There's a lot of guys out there that really need this message. So please help me to reach out to them. Okay. That being said, guys, make sure you're taking care of yourselves, both mind and body. If you got to talk to somebody, go talk to somebody. All right. Professional, the boys, whatever. Okay. Just don't do it in front of your woman. Okay. Don't confide in her like that. That is not her job. Okay. Not her job. So she's not a man. She's not going to understand the things that we go through. So don't put that on her. Why? Because that's ultimately going to question um, your leadership and the relationship in general. So you got to talk, go to a professional, or go to your boys. All right. Or guess what? You can come here. You're more than welcome to talk here um, with me, with anybody else in the comment section to get some information or just get some help in general. My door is always open, guys. I honestly believe in the open door policy. Okay. And no, I'm not your first shirt. um, but yeah, look, this channel is always here for you. I'm always here for you. Okay. It's the whole point of the channel is to come together and figure it out. All right. Like I said on so many of my videos, and I will continue to say, I don't have it all figured out either. Right. So, but let's talk about it and let's figure it out together. Right. We're a team. We're a family here. So let's come together and help each other out, lift each other up. All right. Speaking of lifting, speaking of lifting each other up. Oh man, tongue twister. Um, you get past two syllables and then everything just falls apart. um, if someone's having a rough day, lift them up. All right, just lift them up. Okay, and I appreciate all of the support you guys have been giving me these past few days. You know, um, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Mental health wise, it's been rough. It's been very rough. You know, um, but you know, you guys, you guys are keeping me going, and I appreciate that. It's not just you. It's my dog. It's me too. And wanting to, make more dioramas and grow my Etsy shop and grow this YouTube channel, grow myself. You know, because I ultimately want to change people's lives for the better. And I want to help people. I want to help men. Um, But like I said, we all go through our seasons. We all go through trials, and um, you guys were helping me through mine. And there's more to come, but I'm so grateful that I had you guys there to help me. So thank you. I from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all that you guys are doing. It means a lot. It really does. And just make sure you do that for whoever needs it, right? Maybe it's a homeless guy or homeless woman that needs some food, or maybe it's maybe it is someone in the comment section who needs help. You don't know until you know, and then just help them out. All right, but I'm going off on a tangent there. Just help people out, okay? Um, give them the right information and send them in the right direction, okay? Um, that being said, guys, that being said, um, I like to say that a lot. That's why I'm kind of chuckling. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. It means a lot to me. Um, and so I again, I really hope that you take something away from it and that you learn something from it, and that you can give something to us, right? Give and take. But thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon.